Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Mad Man. Before we get started, make sure you like this video, share it with your social media and friends, comment down below. Most importantly, subscribe. Today we're talking a huge name in the portal that was a Michigan target and a Michigan lean at one point, plus Dante Moore chooses a school, hint, hint, it's not Michigan, and Michigan's secret weapon against Bama in the Rose Bowl, all of that, and of course.
No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro them. And I'ma tell them where I'm at. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset.
Maize and Blue Nation, it's Tom Brady. I co-founded Autograph with one mission in mind: change the fan experience for the better. That's why I'm excited to announce the release of a new app that recognizes the biggest Michigan fans. The Autograph Fandom app gives you access to the best Michigan content, fan challenges, and exclusive rewards for diehard Wolverines, all for doing the things you already do, like listening to this podcast. Head over to the Apple App Store and search for Autograph Rewarding Fans and download today.
Let me start with apologizing for the last video. Apparently in the edit, I screwed that up and all you saw was one picture throughout. Trust me, that won't happen again. Moving on though, Michigan has been in talks and in contact with Damani Jackson, who entered the transfer portal from USC. You may remember a couple years ago, Damani Jackson was very high on the Wolverines. In fact, his father is a huge Wolverines fan. He and Will Johnson developed a great relationship throughout that recruitment in 2022. In fact, they both at one point were going to commit to the other state, and then we're going to both commit to Michigan. Of course, Damani had some cold feet in the end, wanted to stay closer to home, chose the Trojans. That being said, they have remained great friends, and Will Johnson has been in talks with Damani Jackson, trying to get him to come to the Wolverines. We'll see if it works, how it works. Damani, of course, started all 11 games for the Trojans this past year. He had 31 targets, gave up 20 receptions for 400 plus yards and 2 touchdowns. As a freshman last season, he totaled just 2 tackles in 7 games. He has yet to record an interception in his college career, but with the development of Will Johnson, I'm sure that's a great selling point. Will Johnson, arguably the best corner in college football, and Steve Klinkscale has done a great job with all the DBs in terms of their development and getting them ready to play on Saturdays and most importantly on Sundays in the case of people like Sanders, Still, Johnson, and potentially Jackson, depending on what happens. I'm hearing it's just a 2-team race between the Wolverines and Alabama. Funny and ironic, both of them play in the Rose Bowl. Not sure if that's going to sway a decision one way or the other, but it wouldn't hurt for Michigan to win that game. Of course, we want Michigan to win that game anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But Damani Jackson in the portal, Michigan definitely in on this race. I'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Moving on. In a bit of not so shocking news, former 5-star quarterback Dante Moore, UCLA transfer, has committed to the Oregon Ducks, once again stiffing the Michigan Wolverines. There was talk, there was smoke out of his camp that Michigan was a, quote, perfect fit. However, Dante Moore chose Oregon. He was once committed to the Ducks before flipping his commitment in the 24th hour to UCLA. Obviously, this is something that Michigan fans expected. Nobody really expected Dante Moore to come to Michigan. I did hold out some hope. I did think that there was a chance, but in the end, Dante Moore chose the Ducks. And I usually don't do this, and everybody knows I take up for the kids in the comments about choosing money over education or whatever it is, right? And I'm not even going to go that far and to say he chose it over education because we don't know everyone's socioeconomic status, right? However, Oregon is an NIL player. UCLA obviously was an NIL player with Dante Moore. I'm expecting that was the case here in making his decision. But again, I'm not mad at it. I understand it. And if there is money out there to get, I'm not mad at any kid that goes and gets it. That said, Michigan moves on and forward with what they have, and they have some talent, obviously. So we're not mad. Good luck to Dante Moore. We move on. Switching gears just a little bit, Michigan linebacker Junior Coulson spoke on former Michigan linebacker coach George Hilo joining the Alabama staff just weeks before their matchup in the Rose Bowl. He had this to say about it. He said, Mike Barrett sent it to me first, then Ernest Hausman, but it's just different. It's like they might be a little scared. You never know, but he's got a job. I'm happy for that, so I'm happy for him. I'm happy. I'll probably say what's up to him after the game. So you just got to go out there and play ball. And speaking about the possible intel that George Hilo could be giving the Alabama Crimson Tide, Junior Coulson wasn't too convinced that could be helpful. He said, quote, "You can't really have an advantage in football. It doesn't matter if you know somebody's whole playbook. You still got to stop it. So you can't really have an advantage in football. You've got to go out there, play ball, let the dice roll how it rolls." So Junior Coulson obviously was taught under George Hilo for a moment there and is not convinced that George Hilo will provide Alabama with an advantage against the Wolverines in the Rose Bowl. He is, however, excited that George Hilo got a job. So there's that. Moving on. Finally, we'll end it with Michigan's secret weapon in preparation as they prepare to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide January 1st in the Rose Bowl. And that is backup quarterback Alex Orji, who is working on the scout team for the Wolverines in preparation. Alex Orji, of course, 6'3", 236, an absolute freak. In fact, was rated as the top athletic freak on the team by the Athletics' Bruce Feldman's on his Freaks in College Football list ahead of the season. He is doing an excellent job, in fact, quote, a damn good job at his comp for Jalen Milroe in the practices on the scout team. Jalen Milroe, of course, very dynamic. He's rushed for over 400 yards and 12 touchdowns this season. Completed 65% of his passes for over 2,700 yards and 23 more touchdowns while only throwing 6 interceptions. So Jalen Milroe is definitely, he has to be accounted for in the Rose Bowl. And by all accounts, Alex Orji has been doing a great job in comping his style in these practices. According to Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle, he's a freak of nature. When speaking of Alex Orji, you just see how much effort he puts in the weight room. You see how jacked he is, how athletic he is. He's really a freak of nature. Every single day he comes in with that mindset of being the best player, the best version of himself he can be. You see that every single day. Complete props to him. He's an athlete. He's going to continue to do great things from this point forward. So Michigan really has an excellent comp. If you look at them side by side, they're almost one-to-one when referring to Milroe and Alex Orji. Of course, it will be different playing the Alabama team, as we know, and getting the live bullets, if you will, from Jalen Milroe, but in terms of a comp, there's not a better one that the Wolverines could ask for. That being said, when speaking about Jalen Milroe, Chris Jenkins had this to say. He's an athletic quarterback, definitely a weapon, 6'2", 220-pounder. He has the opportunity to make plays and also make plays on the scramble. Definitely have to keep an eye out for that and give him that respect. He's a good dog. So Michigan getting ready for that matchup against Alabama, and it looks like they are more than ready at this point. I'll keep you posted as more information comes available about the game, about Michigan's prep, and anything else coming out of the camp heading into the Rose Bowl. That being said, we've reached that point in the show where I must bid you adieu. Be sure to follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. Download the Autograph app on your iPhones in the Apple iStore and use my code Madman. Until then, stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. Son. I just don't get that all that Mace and that lock and all that puff. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
And how the